In a world where digital content barrels towards us at relentless breakneck speeds, where posts and memes and tweets and snaps rain down a punishing assault of attention-grabbing data, three heroic podcasters with a strong background in broadcast media are taking on the internet. Each week, we break down the trends, technology, and connections that are transforming our lives. We are Things I Found Online.
We are Things I Found Online, where comedians are exploring the internet. On today's show, it's all about Fortnite. Have you seen your child this summer? Where is he? Who is he with? It's worse than love. It's Fortnite. This video game is a cultural phenomenon that has swept across the land and hypnotized our young people. What are they learning? Where are they going? What are they doing? Will you ever see your son again? All will be revealed. Let's kick off the show with the top one list. You guys ready for the top one list? The number one list of the week is the top 10 video games of 2018. First, before we get to that, I want to introduce our panelists. We have Ryan Tabb. Another Ryan.
We don't have to say his last name.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
He's young Ryan. So we have young Ryan, we have young Garrett, we have Lisa Arch, and we have Jose. What's your last name, Jose? Garcia. I found Jose on Facebook. Where you go to look for people.
You do?
Yeah. I found him, and he came over, and so this is our first Facebook date. Nice. And we haven't murdered each other. So far, nailing it.
I'm going to be so annoyed if I get murdered because you met Jose on Facebook.
I promise you it won't happen.
Okay.
But in Fortnite, what we're talking about is it's a game full of murder. I mean, the number of gun deaths this summer in a video game is quite frightening. And we have a guest. Well, first let's do the top one list, and then we have our guest who's going to be joining us straight from the Wall Street Journal. She is their technology reporter. And the top one list is the top video games of 2018. Number 10, Call of Duty World War II. Number 9, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Number 8, League of Legends. Number 7, Rocket League. Lots of leagues. Number 6, Minecraft. Number 5, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I don't know who named that game, but I want to have a word. Number 4, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Number 3, Overwatch, which I know is popular. Number 2, as ever, Grand Theft Auto 5. And number 1, Fortnite Battle Royale. So first, before I throw to our guests, let me ask you, what makes Fortnite different from Fortnite Battle Royale?
In Battle Royale, you're put in with 100 players versus just a regular Fortnite. It's called Save the World. You're fighting hordes of zombies, and you play as a 4-player co-op, so you're working together there to survive.
Okay, but was there something in was a Battle Royale a franchise that merged with the Fortnite franchise?
It's a game mode.
Yeah, it's just a game mode. It's just a genre.
I see. And so what?
There's also Playground now, Louise, which is a whole other Fortnite mode.
What happens in Playground, Garrett?
It's basically the Battle Royale version. Oh, sorry.
Yeah?
Except everybody else in the game is gone. It's just you and if you want a squad or your friends, just play together and fight each other, and you don't really have anybody else to deal with.
All right, so you just put a team together, or a league, I guess, as the kids are calling it.
It's because none of them are in soccer leagues now, so they have to call the games leagues.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
all right.
They've all quit sports.
So it's cooperative, and that makes it educational. All right, so our guest is coming to us. Has anyone ever gotten so frustrated with Fortnite that you said to yourself, if only I had a tutor? Anyone?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. Well, in some families, I guess losing is not an option. And so an article in the Wall Street Journal by Sarah E. Needleman, who is a technology reporter at the Wall Street Journal, begs the question, ready, aim, hire. Oh, that's so clever. A Fortnite coach. Parents enlist video game tutors for their children. Sarah, are you there?
I am.
How did you learn about this phenomenon?
I discovered an ad on bidvine.com or for bidvine.com, which was marketing Fortnite Coaches. And then I started doing some research and found other services like Gamer Sensei, and looked on Twitter, on Reddit, Facebook and found a bunch of coaches and parents who hired them.
So you said, okay, this is terrifying. I need to investigate.
I'm not sure I said it was terrifying. I thought it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I've known that video game coaches, this is not a new phenomenon. This has actually been going on for years, where mostly video game hobbyists, so older folks, or aspiring pros have been hiring coaches for, trying to get on the competitive circuit. But when I called to investigate the coaches that were tutoring people in Fortnite, I suspected it was different. And it was a case of parents hiring it for younger kids who were having some social peer pressure at school and wanted to improve. Or in some cases, the parents saw potential opportunities for esports. And mostly, though, it was about bonding with their kids. A lot of the dads I spoke to wanted to find out what this game was that their kids were so crazy about, and they wanted to sit down and be a part of it.
So did you prepare by playing the game, or had you already played the game?
Well, I've sort of played the game. I die within seconds. I'm terrible. But I've been writing about Fortnite for a while now. This is probably the, 5th or 6th article I've written on the game. So I've been watching it a lot on Twitch, but I'm absolutely terrible at it. It's very difficult, and I don't last very long.
The game is not, it's not kind of ranked according to skill level. Everybody's in there together, so you could be playing with Ninja, the best Fortnite player, and you could be eliminated immediately. And so is that one of the things that leads to frustration when little kids play the game, do you think?
I would imagine so. I mean, it's 100 players thrown into this map, and it is one of those games that are relatively easy to learn, but very difficult to master. Some of their strategy is to hide for most of the game until everybody kills each other, and then kind of come out and try and hope you can get the last folks. But it's a big map, and every single match is different. It's never exactly the same, which partly is why it's so popular. It's just exciting.
Garrett, do you have a question? Into the mic, honey.
I was going to ask something.
Okay, go ahead, Lisa.
Just to clarify, so you're saying that a lot of the people that are hiring tutors are hiring them for themselves, the adults, so that they can play better with their child?
It's been a mix.
Okay.
Some of the parents were getting lessons for their kids, but as a way to bond with their kids. So they would sit over their shoulders. But actually, a lot of the dads said they ended up enjoying it so much that they started taking lessons. And sometimes it was the opposite. The parents were taking lessons to find out what was going on in their kids' lives. And the kids saw that their dads were getting really good. And they said, hey, we want to take lessons too. So it's been a little bit of a mix. In some cases, the kids were complaining to their parents that they were not winning and that they couldn't brag about it on the playground like their other friends could. And so the parents felt bad and said, hey, would you like to get better at it? Here's a coach. It's not very expensive and gives you some tips on how to get better.
So how much does it cost? And how old are these tutors generally? Like, let's just say I had a nearly 11-year-old who really has mastered the game and he needs extra money to buy V-Bucks.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, if that were the case, could he tutor somebody and bring home some cash?
For someone who's under 18, they're going to have a hard time getting a coaching gig through a professional service like Gamer Sensei. They do screen and they have certain qualifications that you need to meet in order to do it. But there's no stopping someone from hanging out their virtual shingle on Twitter or Reddit. So if a young person thought they had the chops to coach, they could potentially put themselves out on social media and offer to do it. But you have to keep in mind, it's not about just being good at the game. You also have to be good at teaching somebody, and to be a coach or a teacher or tutor, however you want to put it, does take a certain skill set, takes patience and understanding how to communicate with people who aren't as good. So not everybody is cut out to be a coach. Just because you're very good at a game doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great teacher.
But do you feel, Sarah, that gaming is something that you're supposed to use your problem-solving skills and your logic and your experience in order to master it your own self, rather than having someone? I know there's a whole history of hints and tips and cheats and everything that people will seek out online, but having a tutor, does that feel to you like you're losing the concept of what gaming is supposed to be?
That's somewhat debatable. I think this is not about cheating. This is about getting better at a sport. Fortnite is a competitive game, and just like any sport, there are ways to do it that are smarter than others. There's also just little tips that some of the coaches will teach you in terms of like maybe matching the setting on your mouse, the speed to the setting on your computer. There are little tricks of the trade that the pros know. They also may just notice that you're not building the right way or your strategy is off, and they may give you tips on how to deal with that. It's going to depend game by game. So coaching for Fortnite is going to be different than coaching for League of Legends. But this, again, it's not about cheating. It's just about anything else in life. If you're taking piano lessons, golf lessons, chess lessons, I wouldn't consider that cheating. I think that's just a matter of getting expert advice on how to improve at something.
So if you get to those deeper levels with some help from someone else, it doesn't like take anything away from like that you've gotten to those deeper levels and you understand these nuances and cause and effect relationships as you play through the game. If someone else shows it to you, it has the same meaning as if you found it yourself.
Well, I just mean like it's in sport. Someone teaches you how to throw a football better. Is that cheating? It just shows you how to do it, and then you have to actually go out and execute it yourself.
Ryan?
Well, I was going to say essentially that. I think that sports forever have been something that coaches teach players how to play better. And in the long term, at least for sports, players become coaches. So seasoned veterans who are no longer competing end up being the ones who are coaches. And like she had mentioned, it takes a certain skill set to be a coach, right? You can't just be a very good player. A lot of times what we see in sports is the best players are the worst coaches and vice versa. Although I will say I hesitate to call video games a sport. I'm okay with esports and I'm okay with competitive games. I'm not quite ready to call them sports yet.
They're kind of their own category.
They're stepping on my toes a little bit.
Garrett?
The reason why I think that it's not that, like, it's having a coach doesn't really bring out the excitement of the game. It took me, I've been playing this game for about 8 months, and I'm still not that good at it. And I'm practicing, and it's sort of fun to get better and better and play against better players to get better. But if you're just starting and you're already better, the game sort of starts to get boring.
Oh, I see. That's an interesting point. I want to thank you so much for being with us, Sarah. You can read her article at Wall Street Journal, and we would love to check back with you as we continue talking about the internet, because you are a technology reporter, and that is very impressive and interesting. So thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Have a great night.
Okay, you too. Take care. Bye-bye. She is cute.
She is cute.
So Fortnite, let's get to the beginning and play the clips. We have what is Fortnite, and I want you guys to explain the game as if I'm a grown-up who knows nothing about the game. What happens in the game? Jose.
Pretty much Fortnite is, if you ever seen the movie Hunger Games, it's essentially the same thing. You're just survival. If there's 100 players put into one island. There's 99 losers, only one winner. And that's why there's a lot of people that love to play it, because if you win, you're better than those 99 people that are there. Yeah.
I will say one of the things on top of that I've noticed makes the game incredibly special is that unlike a lot of other fighting games, right? If you're playing Call of Duty and you're playing in teams, you're essentially playing to a certain score or a time limit. And if you're losing until that game ends. Whereas in Fortnite, you're winning until you lose, and once you lose, you can immediately start a new game and be winning again. So every second you're alive is gratifying, and then you just die and you immediately jump right back in.
So it's like you get to tip over the chessboard and start over.
Essentially, yeah, that's really what it is.
You have to continue playing Candyland when you know that Trish is going to win.
Exactly, which is how most video games are set up. When you're down and the score is in someone else's favor, that's it.
So is that like an adrenaline rush? Like, oh, like I lost, and then like, but I want to play again.
Yes, and when you're playing, every second that you're not dead, you're winning. You're winning until you lose, as opposed to like maybe not knowing what you're winning until you have officially lost.
And what is your heart doing?
Beating.
So it's exciting, and it feels like a
rush.
rush.
I have heart problems, so it's hard to say what my heart is doing.
Your heart is fine.
But yeah, no, my heart's beating pretty fast usually.
But is it that kind of rush that you seek all day when you're doing other things? Are you looking forward to when you're going to be playing Fortnite?
Well, it depends what you're doing, honestly, because this is such an addictive game that sometimes when you're at a friend's house and you're bored, sometimes you don't know anything else to do but play.
Can I tell you the mom side of it now? Would you mind?
That's what I want to hear.
Okay, because this is everything is just BS.
Okay.
Everything that just happened. So first of all, there's many reasons that this game is addictive, okay?
There's crack in it.
There. Exactly. That's the first reason.
Okay, that's bad.
No. So this Epic Games has set this game up in the most ingenious way. It's free. Okay.
Okay.
It's free to play. So you're like, hey, Mom, can I download this game on my PS4? It's called Fortnite. It's free. Of course you can. No problems. They're shooting in it. Yeah, but it's not bloody, blah, blah, blah. Okay, go for it. Now, once you're in the game, there's this whole hierarchy of, it's kind of like being in a clique. It's sort of like being popular, and your popularity is indicated by your skins.
Skins.
Which are things that you buy in the game that are insanely expensive. They're not insanely expensive.
So that's
but
where you spend your money?
For what they are.
Yes.
So basically, the thing that the skins do for you is when you don't have a skin, people make fun of you. And
they're like, oh, you're a noob. You have the skin that the game came with.
Well, skin shaming.
Right. Skin
Not okay.
shaming.
And once you buy a skin, and if you bought it a long time ago and it hasn't come back to the item shop and you see that skin, you get scared. You literally, your heart starts beating. You don't know what to do. You sort of run away. And these skins are expensive.
Okay.
But it's sort of a risk to see if it's rare.
What if your mom can sew you your own skins?
And if you see really like rare skins that haven't come out since Christmas per se, you really don't want to like try to fight them and stuff because you don't want to get killed.
And you know they have experience.
I see.
So now the other part of it is you asked, are you always wanting to play Fortnite when you're doing something else?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So these two have been friends since they were born.
Okay.
So nearly 11 years.
Yep.
For those nearly 11 years, they had plenty to do. They would play basketball. They would watch movies. They would go on walks. They would talk. They would swing. I don't know. There were things that were being done.
Right.
Since Fortnite, it's like they don't know how to be people. And I love you both dearly, by the way, but it's like they don't know how to be people in the world in the off times.
So this game has taken over their minds.
Completely.
I will agree with that. But basically, if you're not allowed to play Fortnite, somehow your brain clicks and finds out something else to do. But if you have the chance to play Fortnite, that's what you're going to do.
Right. So like they're on day 5 of a 5-day sleepover because it's summer.
How much Fortnite has been in this 5 days?
Well, there has been a lot, but last night was deemed a Fortnite free zone.
Fortnite free zone.
And that was like, seriously, you kind of saw their heads go, what? Like they both almost exploded, but then they figured it out.
Okay, so there is a period of detoxification and or withdrawal symptoms, and then I guess 12 steps to a new healthy beginning.
Right, exactly.
Okay, now we have a full-grown man here who has a job in X-ray technicianing.
Okay.
Which I think is what it's called on your card, right?
Yeah.
And so how do you manage your Fortnite time? Because I want you to tell this mom he are going to be okay, because what happens is you learn how to budget your time and how to look forward to something and then not do it right this second just because you feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, work always comes first, but whenever I get a chance, I'll play. I don't get as much time as they would per se, but I'll definitely play whenever I get a chance. Like since I have a 1-year-old, right when she goes to sleep, 8:30, I'm already like starting up the console. I'm like, I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna play till midnight maybe, get a couple games in, and then I'm done. And then I play with friends. And they're like, oh, come on, man. Like, let's play a couple more. And I'm like, all right, 1 more. And then before you know it, it's like 10 more.
But do you find that it's something that you enjoy looking forward to, or you're actually not happy until you're playing the game?
Oh, no, I'm definitely happy when I'm not playing it still. But I like to play just because it's just so fun just to play, because there's so many updates every week. There's always something new. And you don't really see that in a game. Usually you buy a game, that's the game. This game changes every week. So there's always something new. There's new guns. There's new skins.
What's your current skin, bro? How'd I do with that question?
I don't really buy skins, especially because they're $20.
You steal them off
each.
of people you kill?
No, actually, if you buy the Save the World mode, you get V-Bucks through there, which it was like $20. They were on special earlier, so I bought that, and now that's how I get my V-Bucks. Because I can't justify it to my wife that I'm going to spend $20 on a virtual skin.
Okay. And do these guys hound you for skins?
They hound Ryan hounds his mom and Garrett hounds me, and Garrett, who used to be a saver and would save up for things that he really, really wanted, like a Fitbit, or, he would save up for items that were tangible.
Mm-hmm.
He has spent all of his money now. It really is like if we were to extricate, is that the word? Not extricate. If we were to, thank you. I can't usually use words more than 2 syllables.
It's a lot of syllables. If
we were to extrapolate this out over another 10 years, it is almost like having an addict for an adorable addict, though. He's so cute.
Yeah, he's really cute.
But like now my husband and I are doing the thing where it's like you have to earn your own money if you want to get more V-Bucks, and your birthday's coming up and you can get some money then, but it's like
But what about if you took a portion of his money and put it in a do not touch zone, and then he could spend a portion of his money on this game, but then another portion is because I would imagine that when these skins go out of style, it's not like you can you is there like a secondhand skin store?
Is there a Fortnite Goodwill that you can shop at?
No.
And
Dang.
it's not just skins, it's also emotes. Explain what an emote is, Ryan.
An emote is a dance you can do in the game if you, per se, kill someone.
Oh, we have that lined up in the show. We have some happy dances.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's really kind of polite to gloat at the murder of a fellow citizen.
Yeah,
Still
there's
pretty
one
fun, though.
emote.
Still pretty fun, though.
There's one emote, it's called Take the L, and you do it if you, kill someone or you, outplayed them. Yeah.
But a lot of them dance together in the lobby before they play a game. Sometimes it's very social.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the game a little bit, and play some videos so people can see what the game looks like. The game has a look to it that's very engaging and warm and fun and captivating. Like you want to live there. I would want to live there if I weren't about to get shot.
And there's a storm every day, so you wouldn't like that either.
All right.
If you live there.
But the game, go ahead and play some of these videos. Fortnite, what is it? How do you play? And I guess the rules are build, break, battle, and bond. Or is that just the video I watched?
It really depends how you're looking at it.
Okay, so some people like to build, and then some people, I was looking online at a lot of the videos, and there were a lot of videos that said how to win at Fortnite without even killing anybody. And I don't know if that's hiding in a corner, because that's how I would play.
Yes.
But then the circle narrows so that if you're like one of the few people left, you get penalized if you don't move to the circle. So they make it more competitive that way.
And usually the best hiding spots are on the outside of the map, which the storm doesn't go to. It closes in mostly to the middle.
To the middle.
But it's sort of random, so you can't just land in the middle, and that's where it's going to end.
Yeah, you can't really anticipate where that's going to be happening.
Also, Garrett, when he first started, when he didn't know how to build and do all that stuff, it's so complicated. I watch sometimes and I'm trying to figure out what he's doing. I should probably get a tutor. But he used to hide all the time, and then he would make it till the end, and now they're out there really playing. And then we're all celebrating when they kill people.
So you come out of a bus, and then there's like different paragliders and jetpacks that take you down, and from here you can kind of, Garrett and Ryan's and Jose, you can pick where you want to go, right?
Yes.
So how do you, at this point, how do you strategize? Like, you're thinking like, okay, I'm going to aim for, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
Right now you're thinking, how do I get a gun right now so I could,
because you have a pickaxe. But that's all you
start
have.
with a pickaxe, but that only does 10 damage, and the person has 100. And there are these things called shields that you can drink, and it sort of gives you an extra
little health
layer of health.
And you can chop down things to give you wood to build with. And it looks like when they have a map in their hand, that's when they're building, right?
Yes.
When they have a construction,
Okay. And so are there guns and weapons laid out on the playing field that you have to try and find, or do you have to kill someone?
You actually have to go inside to places. It's very rare that things
they're
are
in
just
houses.
in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, like right here, it will show you that this is actually an older gameplay, but this is he just grabbed a gun from inside the house. And
So all these houses look like fixer-uppers. But where are we?
to be honest,
Yeah.
lately they've been actually fixing up the houses.
Oh, okay.
But there are a lot of cracks in the houses because they're making it
Gentrification, we
look
call
like that the storm just came.
Okay.
And there are a lot of houses with bunkers for the storm, and it's really interesting.
But would you like this game if you weren't killing?
I personally would not, because
So it's what is it about killing that's fun? Help me understand.
See, now this is something that not a lot of people know, but
Okay.
you're not actually killing. You're actually
stunning.
into a virtual world where a drone sort of scans you into the game, into this life. And then when you die, they scan you back into another game.
You're some kind of genius. This would be great if this is how countries fought wars. Virtually.
Scanning. Yes,
Yeah.
it would. Yes.
Let's get on that,
or
boys.
just our generation, which we would play Risk.
We would.
Yes.
Yeah, or go to the head of the class.
I want to know if Big Ryan, which is your nickname now,
Okay.
do you buy skins and the
No,
emotes?
I'm not like I'm into the game. Like I play it. I got a gift card and I bought one skin, and that's the only money I've ever spent on the game,
Wow.
and that will be the only money I ever spent on the game.
So do you think then, as older gentlemen, I mean, you're still incredibly young.
He's
but,
married. He has a
Yeah,
baby.
well, I mean, clearly
Yeah.
they're adults, but they're youthful adults.
Young adults.
They're what I call a kid. And then he's like, "How old was he?" And I'm like, 26. He's like, "That's not a kid."
Yeah.
So, I don't know what I was about to say.
Oh, you wanna know how they play the game?
No,
Yeah.
no. So I'm garnering from that then that the skins and the emotes are really just for. It's a popularity contest for kids, and
Yeah,
once
it's
you're
just-
out of that world, you don't care.
yeah.
Go ahead,
for it.
Ryan.
Go ahead, little Ryan.
Yeah, it's just if you buy skins, it's just to show off. Like, it's just to flex on people.
So, and-
See, now that's not the case for me.
Okay.
Because I love to be color coordinated.
Yeah,
And
you're a
when
stylish guy.
And when I see something in the item shop that matches something that I've gotten before, I'm like, I want that.
I will say, and Ryan, I don't know about you, little Ryan, but I will say he does spend hours sometimes
Selecting.
coordinating skins on and saying, "Mom, do you think this looks okay? Like, does this back bling go with this outfit?" So he does.
And you say, yes, but you're wearing pajama bottoms and flip-flops. So look in a mirror. So, Jose, what about you with skins?
I don't really spend money on skins, like I said. A lot of people like say that skill is with skins. Some say that they don't. I just say that they don't. People have rare skins. They think they're good, but I've fought a couple people where like they have this really cool looking skin and they did not.
Right, it's like tennis.
there,
The
but-
fancier your clothes are, the worse you play.
See, now
Like
that
every
Little Rider?
sport.
Little Rider? Go ahead, swing over them. You got to talk right into the mic.
I've only spent something on one skin.
Have
just
you?
one skin.
And what is it?
It's like a skin that you can actually earn like something for it. You can earn like a jacket.
But does it look cool? Do you think it looks cool? Yeah.
See,
Awesome.
Garrett and Ryan know the names of all the skins
Oh, they do.
and all of the back bling and the pickaxes.
Can you tell when you enter the game, can you kind of like get a sense of a player based on how their player moves or the skins it's wearing if it's someone that you just encounter in the game?
Yeah, if they're wearing a skin that has just come out in the item shop, I wouldn't say that they're like if there's another person next to them, if they have a skin that would come out like on Halloween, and I would say probably the person who has the Halloween skin is better.
But when you buy a skin, don't you wear it?
Yeah, you
So
wear
then
it. You wear
you
skins.
would buy a skin and wear it that day, and
then people would
somebody
think you're
would
bad.
think you're a bad player.
No, they would.
So stuff that comes in the item shop that day,
Yeah.
it's sort of you sort of think that person just bought that skin.
So they must
only.
be playing every day to know that just came out. Is that what you're saying, Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's something like a Halloween skin, like Ryan said, those haven't came out since Halloween,
Right.
which is when the game started.
So it's like you're dating yourself. Like I'm old enough to remember Halloween skins. Ryan, I want to talk strategy. What is your? Let's go around the panel. And what is your Fortnite strategy? What kind of player are you?
The horrible kind.
Okay.
So no, I don't know. My strategy varies every time. I usually try and avoid too many people because you guarantee that you're going to die unless you're really good.
So you run from
But
people.
I also don't go to like nowhere and just hide because that's boring. I might as well just sit there and like stare at a blank screen.
Do you build?
Like kind of. I'm not very good at it. Okay. I'm not very good at the game overall, but I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I started playing this summer when a friend gave me an old Xbox, and like I've gotten into it, and it is addicting. But I don't really play a lot of video games to begin with, so it's like when I play video games, this is what I play.
Yeah.
But I don't. I only own one other video game, so it's like.
What is it?
Tfue, which I bought 4 years ago. I backed it on Indiegogo, and it came out this year, and they emailed it to me, and I forgot about it, and then I started playing it.
It's a basketball game.
Well, no, it's about Shaq in China fighting monsters. But yes, it's about Shaq.
That sounds beautiful.
It's a remake of like a 1995 game, Tfue, that was really bad.
Little Ryan, how do you play? What's your strategy?
My strategy is to land at higher populated places because I like to get kills. You have a higher skill level. And when I see anyone, I usually build a 1x1, which is like just a little fort, like all of it around, like walls around you.
Right.
Yeah. And then that's just pretty much what I do. And then I try to get them with a gun.
And then what happens if someone's bullet hits the side of your fort?
Well,
does it do any damage?
It does damage to your fort, but it doesn't do damage to you.
Okay.
You can repair it with the materials you get by smacking trees with your
And then you hit
pickaxe.
different buttons to go from building to shooting?
Yes.
Okay. Garrett, what's your strategy?
My strategy is sort of like his, but I don't land at populated places. I land at like medium populated places so that I could still get kills, but I could still go on to try to win the game.
Mm-hmm. And how close have you guys come to winning?
I have gotten second place, and he has gotten. I've gotten second place actually 5 times.
Really?
And he's gotten 1 win and 3 second places?
Yeah.
One win.
You've won several times in duos, right?
I've won 8 times in duos, and I have won 10 times in squads.
In squads, okay. And what's your strategy, Jose?
My strategy's kind of changed over time. I used to land at the outside areas because that's where more of the bad players are. So they had like the same skill level, but now
Pick them all off.
Yeah, so now I kind of move in more because it's more high populated areas, and you get more kills. You get sometimes better loot. That's there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I just go in there and then, but it also depends on the bus because where the circle ends, because the storm keeps moving in, it doesn't always go to the center. It could be off center. So if you see the circle, you always go towards it. So going in the middle doesn't always help. Sometimes right when the first second that it lets you go off, that's usually where everybody just jumps off because everybody wants to get right into the action.
Yeah, they
So
want
they
to pick
just-
up stuff before anyone else gets there.
Yeah, so everybody jumps down right at the beginning. So sometimes if I want to do a high kill game, I'll jump down. I'll either get killed immediately because I don't get a gun in time, or I'll get lucky and I'll get a good gun while everybody gets the worst guns, and then I'm able to get more kills that way.
My strategy is to hide in a closet and cry because I miss my child.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Does that work very well?
It does. It's very cathartic. And then I'll have some chocolate and stuff and everything's
Oh,
fine.
chocolate, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, so
Pretty
but
good weapon.
what I also wanted to say is I hear you guys a lot going, drop me your single pump and I'll give you some of this. So what's that deal? Because you're sharing. Because I talked to Garrett's, and then I'll let you answer. I talked to Garrett's dad about this, about my concerns. And he said there's also good things because they have to work together and they
Right.
have to learn things and they're very strategic. So anyway, I want to know what that is.
Wait,
The sharing of when
What
you
are
guys
you saying to each other?
Yeah.
so we're basically saying that I'll give you something that you like for something that I like in return.
Yeah.
And when you're playing with random people, you don't know what they like. So you sort of offer something that you don't like, but that's maybe good to other players.
Okay.
And
So
that's sort
there's-
of like a teamwork thing so that you have a better chance of winning.
Is that just in squads?
And duos.
Okay.
And duos. Did
And
you want to
because-
tell us your strategy, Ryder?
I want to tell them where you should go.
Okay, go ahead. Close to the mic.
You should go to some place that has no name. There's like little areas that have no name, and not a lot of people go there.
Interesting.
And you can get all the loot there.
Is there loot that's left there?
There's there's like chests that you can open.
Oh, the chests, yeah.
And then inside you can get stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's a good tip. Has anyone won the game straight out? Well, solo won the game?
Once.
I have.
Because I went on YouTube to find out, like, what does it look like when you win the game, since 99 people have not won the game. I guess you win an umbrella glider?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a guy winning, and it says that, Victory Royale, with the E at the end, which makes it fancy. And the way it's described is it looks like you're Mary Poppins, because you come floating in.
I said that yesterday. I said, why don't they have a Mary Poppins skin? It'd be perfect.
I think somebody will make that pretty soon. And so it's not that fancy. I thought there'd be fireworks or something.
You get like one for each season, like, so it's different each time. So if you won in like season 5, you get a different umbrella, and then that can show people that you're good recently.
He was saying that his umbrella was camo because he had a certain pack of skins or something. Yeah.
There's a new, the season 5, the newest update. There's actually a new Victory Royale thing, which is actually a bit fancier, and it's sort of like an explosion, and there's confetti.
Oh. See, I was at least expecting confetti.
Right. Now you're going to get it.
I've killed 99 people. I would like some confetti.
Right.
Yeah, and now when you get a win, when you kill the last person, there's a slow-mo. So it shows you in slow-mo right when you kill them. So it just adds more dramatic effect to it.
That's really cool. I like that. So David looked up some fun Fortnite facts for us, and I'm going to skip right to my favorite, which you guys had alluded to earlier, which is one aspect of Fortnite that's getting quite a bit of press, are the celebratory dances that players' avatars can perform in-game. Perhaps the most popular victory dance is the floss, a dance move first popularized on Saturday Night Live by 15-year-old Russell Backpack Kid Horning. The dance requires one to simultaneously sway their hips and arms in opposite directions. So I don't know if you guys have the link to... here's some victory dancing. And I guess this is completely legal in the game. It's like spiking the football, but...
And like I said, they also do this when they're all hanging out in the waiting room waiting for a full deck. They dance together.
Does anyone do this to distract someone who's shooting at you?
No, sometimes when I'm just done with the game and I'm in the middle of a game and I want to go do something else, I'll just like stand in the middle and dance until someone kills me, because it makes a lot of noise and like you're just standing there, you're sitting duck.
I would just do this until I got killed.
There are a couple recent ones that are hilarious.
So does anyone just dance in the middle of the game just for fun?
I have, many times.
Sure.
Because I go through all my dances. There's two dances called True Heart and Star Power, which are both like
They're very colorful.
I'm not going to buy anything, like I said, but
you
I want those
have
ones.
to buy the dances, right?
Yeah, they're like
really
a pop star
ones.
dance. It's absolutely hilarious.
Hilarious, yeah.
And me and Ryan use them all the time.
I think if there were more dancing in actual wars, there'd probably be a
less
lot.
wars.
Yeah. Though there'd be more wars.
Our soldiers would be very different.
But less kills. So is Fortnite addictive? We just have to flat out ask the question. I'm going to ask the kids first. Ryder, how old are you, Ryder?
7.
You're 7 years old, and your parents let you play Fortnite.
Yes.
And do you think it's addictive?
Yes.
Okay, what makes you think that?
Because it's a really good game.
Mm-hmm. Do you get the shakes when you're not playing?
Yeah, like when my Switch dies, I'm like, no.
Oh, so it like really hurts your heart. Like,
yes,
I just wanted to keep playing.
I wanted to keep playing Fortnite.
It's the same for me in Tetris when I get to the top.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I just wanted to keep playing. Darn it. Ryan, is it addictive?
I think that's a tough question. Like we can definitely talk about it in that context, but we have to address like what addiction would be,
What is
right?
addiction? Yes.
Because at least for me personally, and this might just be because I'm not like crazy into it, I don't feel like I don't long for it when I'm not playing it.
Okay.
I enjoy it. I think it's really good, and I don't think that it's necessarily addictive just because it's really good and people like it a lot. Like I'm addicted to my phone. When I don't have my phone, like I get uncomfortable for no reason. And that's a little different than the way I feel about Fortnite. But if other people feel that way, then I would absolutely say that would qualify as something that could be addictive.
Little Ryan?
I definitely think it's addictive. It's super addictive. I really don't know why, but it's super, super addictive.
Do you think your personality changes a little bit when you play it?
Oh, yes, definitely. I get very mad at my parents if they tell me to get off.
And so knowing that it's addictive, because you're a smart young man, knowing that it's addictive and knowing that certain things in life are addictive, like coffee and chocolate and The Bachelor, how can you, as a young person, learn how to manage your time so that you have it to look forward to, but you're not? I think it even is more enjoyable if you've delayed the gratification and said, I'm going to get this finish and this finish and this finish, and then I'm going to really enjoy the game. That's when it feels the best. But if you just allow yourself to play and you haven't attended to any of your responsibilities, I don't think it's as much fun. So how can you learn how to manage and budget your time?
Well, my parents give me a time limit of 3 hours a day. And then when I get off, I just do normal things like play basketball, play in the water, play other things.
So you're aware that this is something
Yeah.
that you have to balance. Garrett, what are your thoughts?
I think it is extremely addictive for him, for whoever has played this game. It's once you get into it, you're not getting out of it for a while.
Right. They should put political ads inside the game. The Russians.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
Right?
They probably are.
Like
Yeah, they're one step ahead of
he
that, I'm
said
sure.
that his phone is addictive because he's had it for a while and he's sort of grown to it, and he's now doesn't know how to sort of last a while without it. That's sort of the same thing with Fortnite. We've gotten used to it. We sort of want to hang out with our friends doing it, and something that makes it more addictive is the more people who get to play longer than you, you start to want to play longer, which makes you look in the item shop more, which makes you want to buy more skins.
So there's a peer aspect in addition to just the fun of the game.
Yes, and mobile, which is the least played console,
Platform.
that makes $1 million a day,
Wow.
which is incredible for a video game.
So
That's free.
David had a fact for us about the money. The game itself rakes in $2 million every day on mobile platforms alone, putting the company that produces it, Carolina-based Epic Games, on track to a valuation of $5 billion to $8 billion by year's end, according to Bloomberg.
Well, they should sell their company immediately.
You think so?
Well, you just won't last forever, and the chances they do it again are slim to none if they're valued that high.
Is it lightning in a bottle to create a game that's just this?
To create anything, this
on fire?
sweeping, yeah. It's just to create anything,
Right.
no matter what industry you're in.
Because there's millions of video games out there, and this is one that people were already fans of the other game. And when this game ever announced, everybody who was playing that game thought, you're not going to make any money. This is dumb. What are you doing? And then after it came out, it started to slowly get more up there.
So is it just one of those games where there's just something about it, and it's hard to put your finger on exactly what it is?
I don't.
That's true for me.
That's true for you?
And Weezy,
Yeah.
excuse me, the other thing too, that going back to what Ryan was saying, is like you're winning until you lose. And in solos and even in like squads and duos, there's only one person or one set of people who win.
Right.
So another part of, for me, where it's like can get addictive, like I wouldn't say I'm addicted, but I definitely have been playing more recently than I should. So but the thing is that you're winning until you lose, but you can only, it's not like Call of Duty or Halo where your team wins and you win probably, like 50% of the time, just
Right.
because you're surrounded by different people. Like it's up to you. And so like that holy grail of getting the victory royale is like always outside. And so like once you die, you're like, I have to play again. So I think it's set up unlike other games where the ultimate gratification is so delayed that you have to keep going back because there's no other way to win.
That's
except to get to the
interesting
end.
because we were talking about delaying gratification by not playing the game all day long, but the game itself understands that concept.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's like Epic Games has figured out everything that could possibly stop you from playing and has found an override for it. I'm telling you, it's insane.
It's scary.
It's
scary. Yeah.
There's also an aspect, correct me if I'm wrong, but like they can't sit next to each other and play on one PlayStation. So like other games like Rocket League that they used to play in the past, they would sit in Garrett's playroom together and play next to each other. So there was that interaction. Now, Ryan comes over with his PS4 that we set up in the playroom, and Garrett sets his up in our bedroom. So they're hanging out at our house in two different rooms playing together.
Right.
Because if you've played with a friend at your house, you notice that it's extremely frustrating to wait for the other player.
Right.
And you don't know, there's not a time limit to the game. So unlike Call of Duty where you could take turns,
Right.
your one player can go for 1 minute, and then the other could go for a half an hour and win.
Okay, so if you win the game, is it about a half hour long, Jose?
About there, yeah.
Yeah.
It can go for, at the most, I'd say, at the most 35 minutes.
So it's kind of like watching your friend take a turn at pool. If they never lose, they run the, what's it called? Run the board or run the table. Maybe.
There you go.
Yeah. So we've got two moms here. I want to know, because, every month or every year, something new comes out where really rapidly where moms have to get together and say, okay, what are we going to do? So how have you guys discussed it amongst yourselves?
So I'm going to probably take some heat for this,
Okay.
but I'm just going to say it because otherwise I'll be lying. There's two sides of me.
Mm-hmm.
There's the side of me that sets strict limits, stricter than a lot of his friends, where I'm like, you can play an hour and a half now and an hour tonight, and that's it. Like, that's it. And I know 2.5 hours sounds like a lot, but to him, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that. It will happen a lot more once school starts. I've been very clear that there's going to be extreme limits, but I've already started limiting it. There is the other side of me that some days really just, I want to eat, lunch by myself, watching Real Housewives of New York.
Of course you do.
And
you're only human.
I'm only human. And those days I'm like, oh crap, it's been 4 hours. Well, I'll let him play another 20 minutes.
Right.
So that has happened as well. It happens not very frequently, but it totally has happened. And so sometimes it's a babysitter.
Yeah. And it's kind of like something that you both secretly enjoy that time,
right?
And yet a part of you, and maybe even a part of him, is thinking, we've been doing this for too long.
I don't think there's any part of him thinking that.
Sometimes I do.
Oh, really? But there are times when I do say, "Bud, you got to get off now," and he's like, "Okay," and he's done.
Yeah, he just needed to be told.
And when I say home alone, like if my mom's going grocery shopping or she has a doctor's appointment that I just don't want to wait in the lobby for an hour and a half.
Yeah, Highlights magazine? No. Fortnite.
Right.
It's a good magazine, though.
I remember Highlights.
It's really good.
It's sort of like you can talk to your friends and they're sort of like there. It feels like they're there.
It feels like you're in it, so you're getting all your social taken care of as well. Dina, how do you manage it? Because this guy is just a little guy, and you've got a long childhood ahead of you there. Yeah. So you have to set up sort of the structure that's going to take him the distance, right?
Right. Well, so that side of Lisa that she was talking about that is like more on the strict side, I don't have that.
She's not home right now.
So I mean, I have a very laissez-faire attitude. Like, I'll be the first to admit it. I basically watch Ryder for signs of because kids can't regulate themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know what they just feel bad, and they don't know why they feel bad.
Right.
So, I give him a lot of freedom. If I start to see okay, he's cranky, he's this, whatever, then it's okay, it's time to stop playing. It's time to, switch, what we're doing. And, maybe he has to, there's a lot of things I could say right now that I'm not going to say because I don't want to put you on the spot. But,
well, I watched Big Ryan, do a lot of projects with my nephew. Ryan is my nephew's best friend, and I watched them. Every time they put their minds to doing a project, they finished the project and won. They won. There was a rocket that went up into the sky. They did that.
Although it never came back down.
We couldn't find it. It was too successful. But do you understand the point I'm making, Ryan? It was like you guys decided to do something and you won at it.
so do you think
That's how they made those stuff in the sky. If you touch it, you fall down from the sky.
So, Ryder, do you think that I'm compared to other moms that of your friends? Do you think I'm really not strict at all?
She's not that strict.
Mm-hmm.
She's not that strict at all.
It's easy too, like you said, you talk to other moms and you're like, what are we going to do here? It's easier when your kid and his best friend have the exact same thing going on.
Right.
It does make it easier that
Let's get on the
his
same
mom and I
page.
are very close.
Yeah.
And I'll say, listen, I told Garrett that he's down to 2 hours a day now. She's like, great. A lot of times we've both done, I swear to you, the exact same thing on the exact same day because we both got so sick of it at the exact same time.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll say, I just told Garrett he's done for the next 2 days. She's like, I just did that to Ryan. And then we both go, now what the hell are we going to do with them?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And what was it like in your house growing up, Jose? Because you grew up with video games. So how did your parents handle it?
They always kept me in sports, so they made sure I was doing that. They always made sure I did my homework before, which sometimes I didn't do, honestly. But they would just take it away, honestly. If I played too much, I would just take it away, whether I liked it or not. Like, it didn't matter because they're the parent. And now that I'm a parent, I see that too, that you have to do that sometimes.
You're taking that binky away from your 1-year-old.
Yep.
You're like, you are done.
You've had enough binky time.
Yeah.
All right, some other interesting fun facts about Fortnite. Earlier this year, on a March night, over 628,000 people tuned in to watch popular video game streamer Ninja, real name Tyler Blevins, play Fortnite Battle Royale. The amount of people grew as rap superstar Drake joined Ninja's squad, along with rapper Travis Scott and Pittsburgh Steelers star Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, are you doing that
let's
on...
not call him a star.
Where are you watching them play? On Twitch or...
Yes, it was on Twitch.
On Twitch, and then he posted it on YouTube, which I think now has many views.
Okay, so what's fun about watching Ninja play?
The skill that he has. And there's been another streamer rising out of the depths called Tfue, and he's sort of like another version of that, which now... I don't really know how to explain it.
What's captivating about watching him?
The same thing
I don't really watch those types of streamers because
You don't?
on YouTube I watch other stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I don't watch those types of streamers because I don't really feel the need to. But when... Like, I understand why other people watch him. That he's good, and they like to see that skill that they don't have.
So it's like watching someone who's good at any sport, right?
Yeah, it's like watching professional basketball, and you see these guys do things that you've tried and like maybe made happen once with, all the work you could possibly put into it, and then they do it like it's nothing. I think that's probably the attraction. I haven't watched people stream for like Fortnite and stuff, but I got to assume it's the same concept.
Yeah, and it's also...
Juju had like a breakout rookie season, but I would hesitate to call him a superstar.
Okay, go ahead, Lane.
Well, it's also like the personality of streamers there's some streamers that are like known for comedy, and so it's like Twitch is becoming another avenue for just like content to watch someone you like.
And they're talking while they play.
Yeah, exactly. And there's usually a little like picture-in-picture, so it shows them. And so I know a lot of YouTubers, because I never really got into Twitch, but I watch YouTubers now. A lot of YouTubers are switching. They're also doing Twitch as just like another stream of revenue, which also like Twitch, the way you can make money on Twitch is like insane. Compared to YouTube, you can make money like
instantly
10 different ways.
Well, people subscribe, right? It's $4.95 a month. And
it's $5.99 a month.
Okay.
And Ninja, the streamer, has the most amount of subscribers. He has 100,000. So basically, he's making almost $600,000 a year just from that.
A month, you mean, right?
Yeah, a month.
Yeah.
Plus donations.
I wish I had played more now.
Exactly. It's not too late, Ryan.
Plus donations, he averages about $900,000 a year.
Wow.
He's made over $1 million sometimes. Not a year, a month.
Yeah, no,
it's insane.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy.
Well, video game cheat codes have been around since video games themselves. To combat this, Epic Games has not been shy about going after players found to be cheating in Fortnite by banning them from the game and in some cases even suing them in court. There was a major controversy when one of the players brought to court by Epic Games was revealed to be a 14-year-old kid. How would you cheat at Fortnite?
By using hacks. There's something called aimbot where you could see people anywhere on the map. And there's another hack where you could just hit any shot. But there are some disadvantages to that. Sometimes you can't build because of that. And it just is a bot doing stuff for you, but that's not the fun of it.
Right.
You just win every time because you're just shooting around and people can't kill you.
So is Epic able to sort of look around for that kind of behavior and
if it's been reported, yeah.
If it's been reported,
yeah. There's different ways to go ahead and cheat in Fortnite. Like there's they have the solo mode. So there's some people where they will get into a lobby. They'll both press triangle on PlayStation. They'll both join the lobby, but they're both in a solo match, so they're not in a team. They're like, okay, we're gonna land here. And we're going to work together, and everybody else is just one person, and we're two people. So that's another way to cheat, and people have been banned for that reason.
Okay, so
People have been banned for doing that?
Yes, they will lose their account. So if you've spent, let's say, $200 on skins, your account is gone and you can't get that money back.
I will say I did that once, but like not with a friend. I didn't get a weapon, and some guy stood there and looked at me, so I started dancing, and he started dancing and gave me his weapon, and we ran around, but I didn't have a mic or anything, and it was some guy I've never met. And
But would that be construed as cheating?
I hope not. Or
If it gets
ban me.
reported,
I don't really
yes.
care.
Well, Tfue, the guy who I was talking about who's popular, he has gotten banned for hacking. And it was a $3,000 account.
Oh, wow.
People would pay that much. And they just threw it away because that's like a warning. And now he has an account that doesn't have anything.
Yeah, we're hoping that Trump gets banned from presidenting because we think he hacked and cheated his way in.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, it is true. Ryder?
Another YouTuber has been getting better and better. It's someone
Who's
who
that?
has It's someone who has 19 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dantdm.
Oh, have you heard of that, you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's been playing. He was a big Minecraft YouTuber.
Oh, okay.
And he played Roblox, which were two really big games.
Mm-hmm.
And on Minecraft, he went from 0 to like 10 million just from Minecraft.
So it's fun to watch him play.
It really depends who's watching him and
Okay.
what you want to watch.
So maybe it's just the way he talks.
He's sort of comedic.
Yeah. All right, so that's something. Would you let him do that if he wanted to do that when he gets a little older?
Absolutely.
Me
we've
and Ryan
discussed that.
actually
If he
do
could make
have
$1 million
You do it together,
a month,
you
I
guys
wouldn't say
have-
no.
Exactly. We've actually, so they've discussed doing it. Garrett and I actually said to Garrett a few months ago, I will get a username and I will start playing and we'll stream and it'll be horrifying.
Yeah.
But I seriously thought that would be a great way for Garrett and I to bond together. But my husband, who travels for work, got a gaming laptop that was going to be mine to stream with Garrett, but now he's going to take it with him to work so that he and Garrett can play while he's gone.
Oh, no
so
fair.
he can be a virtual dad.
No fair.
On Fortnite. But I want to ask.
I'll be the virtual dad teaching him.
Yeah, right.
I want to ask little Ryan and Garrett, and let Ryan go first. So you've had a summer now of less limitations and all that.
Yeah.
How do you think it's going to be going back to school when you are sitting in class all day? Will you be able to concentrate, or will you be thinking about Fortnite?
I will. Half I will be concentrating on class and half I'll be thinking about Fortnite. And sometimes when I go home, my mom sometimes lets me play for about an hour.
Before you do homework?
Yeah, before I do homework or after.
You think that'll be the same this year?
Yeah, probably. She said.
See, now he complains about his school and he doesn't like his school, but I have sort of a different school.
Uh-huh.
So I think I will be thinking 90% about school and then
Really?
10% about Fortnite.
Really?
Probably 75, I lied.
Okay.
Dina?
So I just want to say something really quick. Ryder is like a huge fan of Dantdm.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he knows all his he knows like the name of his wife, the name of his dogs, like all this stuff about him.
Okay.
Everything.
Yeah.
And one day I looked up Dantdm's like net worth,
Mm-hmm.
and if Ryder wants to follow in his
I
footsteps,
see. I see.
I am more than okay with that. I'll support that completely.
All right, so are you guys ready for Facebook feed time? It's a feature, Lisa.
Oh.
We have features on this show now.
Wow.
Yeah. This week's post is from our friend Miki Yamashita. She writes, late night Googling adventures. How much did President Taft weigh? And it looks like he's coming in at 350 pounds.
Is he the one who got stuck in a bathtub?
Mm-hmm,
Well, legend has it.
Right.
So, what has anyone here late night Googled? Any late night Googling adventures?
I do most of my Googling
Garrett?
late night.
Do you?
You go first.
Yeah.
Well, I usually will usually I'll end up down a rabbit hole, so I'll start on Reddit and like I'll find something interesting, and then maybe I'll make my way to YouTube, and then I'll be like, oh, I'll see some video about some scientific principle I didn't know about, and then I'll Google that, and then I'll think of a project I want to work on, and then I'll Google that, and then it's 3 a.m. and I have class at 10, and then I don't go.
Yeah. See, and that's addictive too, right? Late night Googling can be as addictive.
Very.
I've learned that lightning comes from the ground and the sky. The stuff from the sky you can't see, and the stuff from the ground is the thing.
What
that
I
you
will
can.
Lightning terrifies me.
Lightning is scary.
I'm climbing Mount Whitney like this weekend, And I didn't realize that like the biggest danger is lightning.
Oh, really?
And then I read a story about in the 90s, these people who got struck by lightning at the top of Whitney, because you're the highest point in the continental United States. So like lightning's going to hit you. And it's like, I'm not going to go into it because it's terrifying. But it's scary, like what actually happens when you
don't have to go.
climb.
But I want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what
I really want to.
what I like to late night Google, and Lisa, you're probably like me, is people I went to camp with.
I Google people I went to school with sometimes.
Yeah. Like, is Rhonda Tenenbaum around? You know,
Is she?
I haven't found her.
We should Google her right now.
Yeah.
I lately have been Googling a lot of what's the average depth of a bathroom vanity? Do people do a border around their sink?
I get it.
The countertop.
Yeah,
because we're
like
redoing
I
our
go
bathroom.
like
So,
and there's all that DIY.
Oh yeah, Pinterest
Yeah.
and house.
But I'll go like really deep into like whatever book I'm reading. So if like I'm reading Bob Woodward's book about deep throat, I'll go like Googling deep into Mark Felt, like, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So that's the rabbit hole, because you learn little things and then you just, before you know it, it's been forever.
So we all succumb to that.
We
When
do.
information is just so readily available, it's hard to not keep consuming it.
It's good though. It keeps
Absolutely.
your curiosity.
I want to know from Jose, because
Yeah.
when I had a baby, which was this kid, that's what they turn into. If you want to just take a look.
Yeah. His is a girl, so it'll be
It'll be slightly
variations.
different.
Variations.
But
It's not a baby.
babycenter.com. I don't know if you do.
Oh yeah, my wife would look that up all the time.
I mean, it was like every
Well, you got obsessive, yeah.
beyond.
Yeah.
Beyond.
But, you know, I mean, he's worth it, right?
Totally. And look,
Yeah.
I mean, look what I made. A
Yeah.
kid who's a genius at Fortnite.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Who's ready for what's Twitter trending? Actually, today there wasn't anything Twitter trending that was really...
That was
Wasn't
Lachlan
Elon
on the
Musk's
screen.
tweet Twitter trending?
Twitter twending.
Not when I looked.
I
So
like
I just
that.
did hashtag Fortnite.
Fair enough.
Guys, I figured let's close it out with hashtag Fortnite. And I found a tweet from Conan O'Brien. You guys heard of him?
No.
Who wants to read that tweet? Ryan?
Sure. I'm taking intro to Fortnite at the local community college. That's a ninja did it, right?
And then, of course, comments ensue. So, yeah, everyone's talking about Fortnite. I'm sure there's Fortnite memes. I'm sure there's all kinds of Fortnite culture that we haven't touched
So
upon.
many Fortnite memes.
Really? And then we have Rob tweets, find a guy who looks at you like Lachlan looks at Fortnite. Who's Lachlan? Anyone?
He is a Fortnite YouTuber who has 6.4 million subscribers.
And he looks at Fortnite the way Pence looks at Trump.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Or
adoringly.
the way Biden looked at Obama. Those were really cute.
Well, that was true love.
True love.
Yeah.
Yes.
They looked at each other.
That's
It was
right.
mutual.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of Joe Biden memes on the Syracuse meme page because he's an alum.
Yeah.
And it gets very loving.
Aw. I love me some Joe. All right, so I want to thank everyone for being with us today. We have Dina Friedman, and we have Young Ryder, we have Big Ryan Tab, we have Little Ryder, we have Garrett, we
Little
have
Ryan.
Little Ryan. Did I call
You
him
said Little Rider.
Oh yeah, we have Big Ryan. I'll edit this. We have Big Ryan. We have Little Ryan. We have Garrett, and we have Lisa Arch, Jose Garcia, and in the booth we have Trish Bach, David Court, Lane McFadden, of course Francesco Damando. I am Louise Palanker. We want to be your new favorite podcast if we're not already. You can make it official by commenting and leaving us a wonderful review in the iTunes store, which helps other people find the show, and then we can all play Fortnite together and really be happy and have chocolate in a closet, whatever makes you happy. We want to see you next week. Bye, everybody. Take care.